Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Junior,
And I am peeling a layer of skin as if I was a snake.
and we're
The Nerdy Bros.
That's disgusting.
Dude, I honestly, my entire life told my friends, like, aren't you going to wear sunblock? And then I'm just like, I don't need sunblock. I'm already sun kit. I don't know. I was tan. I'm Mexican. I'm just tan. So I never burned like growing up. Very rarely, like maybe my nose might peel like a little bit, but that was like it. And I went on a float trip a couple Saturdays ago, and that river, number one, was low. Number two, some places wasn't even like flowing, so we just had to like power walk through it. And yeah, I was on that lake for almost or river for almost like 7 hours, and
Well, yeah, that's different.
I got
like,
burnt like a mother.
like I would say we are more sun tolerant, but also 6 or 7 hours is completely different.
Yeah, we tolerate the sun more than other people. Sometimes you get some bigoted people that are just really, really critical about the sun, and we're not like that.
What?
Wouldn't that be what sun tolerant is? We're tolerant of the sun.
Okay, I guess I missed it. That joke went over my head.
I am so sorry.
I just thought that I was like, what? I was like, okay, racism against the sun. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, damn sun and your hip hop always taking all our I don't fucking know.
All right. Anyway, yeah. Yeah. No problems here. I didn't get sunburnt.
No.
I didn't get sunburnt.
Well, you weren't on the river with me though.
Yeah, not for. Yeah. I mean, I've been out in the sun, but not for 7 hours.
Yeah, not for 7 hours. In the blistering heat. Yeah, it was. But yeah. So, anyways,
As always, what the fuck are we even talking about?
tiny elephant to address in the room, guys. We missed last week, and I am sorry.
And I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. We're doing so good, so close. I have no idea. I know we're in the 40s. I don't know if like obviously we're
Yeah,
off
I think
track.
we were like 47 weeks in a row without missing a single
and we
week.
didn't mean to.
Almost an entire year, and then we fucked it.
I'll take like 80% of the blame just because Junior has been on top of like telling me that we need to be, more or less like an episode ahead so that we're never like on crunch time. And yet again, here we are Wednesday night doing the damn thing. But no, I promise him that I'll be better about it so that we don't end up in the same situation again. He was also having some back issues, so there was some
I'm
stuff.
old now.
Yeah, I'm also old. But
I'm old,
yeah,
and I threw my back out a little bit, and it sucked.
yeah, so there's a little bit of stuff going on. So we do apologize for that for all of our listeners that are coming back every week. We're sorry we weren't there for you. But never again. At least we hope. We'll try.
Never again.
Well, we did. I mean, I feel like not to say that it's okay that we missed,
let
but I
them
was just
down.
like 47 some odd episodes of never missing, and it's a mulligan. Give us another chance.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Oh, like 1 out of 100? More like
one in a million.
So you're
Saying there's a chance? No, I read you. I read you loud and clear.
I desperately want to make love to a schoolboy. What? No, that's not what I meant to say. Oh my god, I love that movie.
I have it. I bought it.
Oh.
I got the unrated version. Like, it was extended. There was like scenes that I'd never seen before.
What would be in the unrated version of Dumb and Dumber?
There's some stuff that got cut out that I just never seen
The
before.
headlights are actual boobs this time?
There's like an entire scene that between Lloyd and Harry in that hot tub, that hot tub in that one motel room.
No. Oh, yeah.
And it's way longer than in like the version that I'd seen before.
That really chaps my ass, man. She really wanted to see you. Wait. What if she meant 10 at night? Because, I mean, who would want to go to a bar at 10 in the morning?
I just thought she was a raging alcoholic.
I need to watch that movie again because it has been a while since I've seen it, and I guarantee there's probably still some jokes that went over my head the last time I watched it.
Yeah, I love that. It's a great movie. Oh, a sweet old lady on a motorized cart. I didn't even see it coming.
So
The blind,
well,
blind
excuse
kid.
me, Mr. Perfect. I guess I guess I forgot you never make any mistake. That was on TikTok for a while, and it made me laugh so hard because it just brought up all the memories of that movie, and I was like, "This is one of the best lines ever."
Billy the Blind Kid is
Pretty Bird
is Haley Joel Osment.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, the voice of Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
We lost our jobs. We don't have any money. Our pets' heads are falling off. Lloyd, we were on a really tight budget. Where did you get all that? We relaxed, man. I sold some stuff before we left. What did you sell? Oh, some baseball cards.
Sack of marbles. Petey.
Who did you sell our dead bird to? Oh, the kid in, I don't know, like 3D or something. Yeah. You sold our dead bird to a blind kid?
Harry, I took care of it.
Oh, man.
He just has the head duct taped to the body.
It was fantastic. And then they do, later on, isn't there like a news channel?
Yes, yes.
I just thought he was quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Pretty bird. Pretty bird. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Anyway, this episode is brought to you by Dumb and Dumber.
By birds. They're everywhere. Get used to it.
But anyways, guys, in similar fashion, as you know us coming back onto the show, we like to start everything off with this little segment we call here Junior's Hot Take. And this is part of the episode where I ask Junior about something new and upcoming and get his hot take, hot opinion on it. And I just recently found this, and it kind of blew my mind. I'm super excited for it because it's only 8 days away. Junior, there is a Netflix original anime Resident Evil show coming out. Did you know about this?
No. Tito, here's the thing. I watched the trailer a little bit with you.
Uh-huh.
Do you count that anime? Do you count? I don't know. For whatever reason, I always found those to be like CGI, not...
Is that, yeah, I was going to say CGI.
I mean, technically it's like animated, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it looks like what a Pixar movie looks like now, but like...
it's a little more lifelike. I would compare it more so like, it almost literally looks like the cinematics of like a good video game.
Yeah, but like, there's been movies like this there's been like all of the Final Fantasy movies.
Yes, look like this. Yes, which is I'm all for it.
And there's been other Resident
Final
Evil
Fantasy
movies.
Spirits Within. I hated that so much.
There's been other. You know what? I kind of want to rewatch it because I maybe you do, but I don't remember the premise to that at all.
It was something to do with. It had like literally no Final Fantasy elements to it, where I was like excited about it. It was trash.
We watched the movie so long ago, though. I feel like I've seen that. That was easily, I would say easily.
Just go watch
like
Advent
15
Children.
to 20 years ago that we saw that movie.
You either watch Advent Children or you watch Kingsglaive. Both those are amazing.
Yeah, they are good. I don't know. I kind of want to give it. There's certain movies that I'm like, I didn't like this when we were younger, and I want to give it another go and see if it was just like I was a kid and I couldn't appreciate a good movie as 7.
I mean, there's probably a bunch of stuff that normally we wouldn't understand. It's like the same thing when you have like, I mean, Family Guy does a lot of like 80s comedy that like, I mean, when we were growing up, there's stuff that we just don't understand. There's like one quote that you, me and Brian always say where it's just like, there's a movie in the 70s. You damn kids in the music.
Yeah,
like,
but I've seen that movie.
Oh, you have seen it? I was like, I haven't. So this is just like, that's not a reference I understand, but I understand like Peter's just mad at the kids.
What is it that he says?
A pilot error. It's like an actress that like stands up in the pilot because he's like, is anybody a pilot? And she's like, I can fly us down. And then he like names her, and they're like, who's that? I was like, oh, this is this. She did. She was in that whatever movie. I don't know what it's called.
Airplane. It's probably the movie Airplane.
Is it the movie Airplane?
Yes, and so you've seen.
Oh, so I have seen the movie Airplane. Yes. But yeah, he was just like,
it's a movie
Airplane.
from the 70s. Yeah,
it's a movie from the 70s. Yeah, you damn kids and your music.
I'm pretty sure that he's referring to because she does end up flying the plane. It's the mom from Just Friends. She's the stewardess in that.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's her.
I did not know that.
That could be the reference. I could be wrong, but
surely you
Airplane
must
is
be
from the
joking.
70s. I'm not joking, and don't call me Shirley.
I wish I would remember to like say that whenever anybody says Shirley.
Usually people don't say Shirley.
Surely you must be joking.
Who says that anymore?
Joking. And don't call me Shirley.
Yeah. It'd more or less probably be like, you gotta be fucking joking.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not joking, and don't call me fucking.
You gotta be fucking. I'm not fucking. Let me tell you, son. But so
You gotta
anyways,
be fucking kidding me.
Resident Evil. Well, I know you're a big fan of the movies. You did like them.
I have all of them.
Yes.
Yeah. I've seen some of the other animated Resident Evil movies because there's like one or two other ones, right?
So,
And I'm pretty sure it has Leon Kennedy.
So Leon Kennedy is going to be in this one. So is Claire Redfield. The thing that they're doing though,
this
which
is a
something,
show.
Yeah, this is a show, not a movie.
Yeah.
The thing that they're doing with this, which I mean, they've done for I think certain video games. I'm not maybe a show. I'm not 100% sure. So one of the two brothers from Supernatural, I don't know. I know one's name is Sam. I don't know what the other one's name is.
I've never seen that
also,
show.
yeah. I'm surprised you haven't yet, just because it has so many seasons still ongoing. Like I feel like
No, it's not. It's over.
Are you sure?
I'm almost 100% sure that Supernatural is over.
Two of my really good friends, Joe and Suzanne, that's like one of their favorite shows. As far as I knew, it wasn't like one of the last times I talked to them about it. I think the new season was like on TV.
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up, but I think it's
Supernatural.
over.
Yeah, look it up.
Oh, 2020.
It ended in 2020.
It either just ended or there.
Oh, maybe the final season was last.
Yo, no, yeah. I thought it had been over.
No. What are the two main characters' names? Names and actor names.
Sam Winchester and Dean Winchester.
Oh yeah, it's Sam and Dean.
And it's Jared and Jensen Ackles. Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki. They're the two brothers. I
think the dude that plays the long-haired brother, I think is like the likeness of Leon Kennedy in this like CGI animated Netflix show. So like kind of like the same way they did like a lot of games now. Like even in Beyond Two Souls, they had Willem Dafoe in it. And I think that's just like a lot of like motion capture, like acting, where they do like those like blue green suits with all the little white balls everywhere.
The mocap suits.
Yeah, the mocaps. So I don't know. It looked awesome, and I'm a big fan of the Resident Evil games. The franchise, the movies were cool. So I think this may or may not follow the events of Resident Evil 2. I think. Right?
Well, I don't see either one of them. What is this? It's called Resident Evil what?
Resident Evil, I think it's like Infinite Darkness.
There's a Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. Infinite Darkness.
Did you find it?
Yeah, I did.
It's coming out in 8 days.
Neither one of those guys.
It's not? Okay.
No.
I'm a liar. Don't listen to me.
Did you just say it looked like him, or you heard that it was him?
Oh, I thought... Well, I don't know. I just saw the actor's name, but I don't know. I thought Leon Kennedy, when we watched the trailer, kind of looked like him.
Dude named like Nick Apostolius or some shit. Who, yeah.
Is he not in Supernatural? Because it mentioned the TV show Supernatural.
It might have said from the producers or from the directors of Supernatural.
I didn't read things perfectly. I just watched the trailer, guys. Don't quote me on everything.
Yeah, it was like this guy. I think this guy's been in like video games and stuff because he's good in motion capture.
Okay, well, either way though, 8 days, July 8th, Resident Evil show coming out. 8 days. 3 on my comic list. But yeah, it looks very cool. I am extremely excited to start watching it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's just a 4-episode miniseries thing.
Now, I mean, not that you would know, because I can perfectly remember what the first game is about because I've beaten it. 2 and 3, I can't recall perfectly. And I know one of them is with Leon and Claire. I can't remember who's in the... I don't think it's Leon in 2, 3, and 4. At least I don't think it was.
Isn't Leon Kennedy the guy in 4?
Leon Kennedy is definitely the main character of 4. And he's in like... I think he's like in a Spanish
That was the first time
village.
that it was like over the shoulder in the video game.
What do you mean over the shoulder? Oh, and not like just completely third person?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely know he's in 4, and then him and Claire Redfield are. I just can't think
And
of
then
its
7 and 8 was the first time that it was first person, right?
Yes, and it definitely like
That's what
brings
made it
out
way
way
scarier.
more of the horror genre. Yeah. 5, you played as Chris Redfield.
And
6,
Shiva, right?
Chris and Sheva, who was like a brand new character 4 or 5, and then 6 I completely skipped over. I think there was like a lot of characters that you got to play as in that one. But yeah, then 7 and 8, and then 8 you get to
Oh,
play as Chris
there was
for
a
little bit.
Raccoon City one too.
Yeah,
And that one you played as like stars, right?
no, not stars. You played as Umbrella agents.
Oh yeah.
Like trying to, I don't know. I did not like it. It got bad reviews.
I did because I think I bought it for you.
Yes, I think you did. Either that or I just bought it because I did like the Resident Evil games.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like 4 episodes. I'm wondering if it's gonna be kind of like Castlevania because the first season of Castlevania was also only like 4 episodes, right? So like they maybe ordered 4 episodes,
5. I think the first season was 5.
and they're like,
no,
all
maybe
right,
it was
if
4.
this does well, maybe we'll do a season 2 with like or 10 episodes or whatever. I don't know. You know, one thing that I haven't heard, and I was just thinking about it. When is season 4, the final season of Stranger Things, coming?
That's in 2022.
Really?
Yes. So it looks.
Didn't
like,
we get the last season in like 2019?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, I
didn't know it was
understand
gonna be the final
COVID,
season.
but like we're not getting anything this year.
Not this year.
2022. That sucks.
They said 2022. Resident Evil 3 is Jill Valentine. So Resident Evil 2 is with Leon and Claire. All right, I just had to double check that real quick, guys.
All right. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I say that I'll watch it, but I don't know if I'll watch it. Like, yeah, I might watch it, but like, it's not on my priority. Like, it's not on my.
Has not been on your priority list. Well, speaking of your priority list, Junior,
heard about it, but
what has been on your priority list? What have you been up to recently?
Nothing. I've played a little bit more of
Biomutant. Right?
Biomutant. I don't know, dude. We talked about it a little bit, but I'm a little underwhelmed with Biomutant because
I do kind of feel you, but I have had fun with it, so I'm still kind of waiting.
I've been having fun, and I'm still gonna I think I just need to get into it further. I think I'm still way too early in the game to judge it, but I think that I'm just like, for a game that was announced like 3 years ago,
longer than that. I feel like
I feel like this is shit. What the hell? 2077.
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk 2077 all over again. I'm like, yo, why is this game like this? For a game that came out in 2021, the graphics should be way better than this. Like, there's tons and tons of games that, and especially for like, again, just like Cyberpunk 2077 coming from CD Projekt Red, which is the same people that did the Witcher games, and Biomutant coming from THQ, which is the same people that did the I just lost it. Darksiders, the Darksiders series.
Yes.
Like, I just expected more.
I 100%.
The graphics just don't look that good for a game that came out this year. Like, this looks like this would be acceptable in 2010, where I'm like, yeah, this game's cool. It's 2010. Totally fine with it. But for a game that came out this year, I expected it to look better. And there's a little bit of glitchiness, which is super annoying. Like, if you get picked up by a big enemy, not always, but sometimes it's happened to me like 3 times. If you get picked up by a big enemy and he slams you into the ground, you can't move until you get picked up and slammed into the ground again. And I'm not talking about it's a mechanic of the game where you're stuck in the ground or there's like stars or whatever, like in Monster Hunter where you can't move because you're dazed. No, I'm saying you get slammed to the ground and you just can't move. You move every button on the controller and you don't do anything.
You get slammed down big style, Junior?
Yeah, slammed down big style. And you can't do anything until you get picked up again and slammed again. Then all of a sudden you can move your character again. So if people just keep hitting you with normal attacks, you could just die.
You just take a bunch of damage.
Yeah, you have to get picked up again and slammed again before you're able to move. So I don't know. I'm a little, like I said, I'm a little underwhelmed with it. So I haven't played too much of that. I still have other games that I just need to like get back in. And I've also just been like, I might pick up an old game just because I know that I love this game, and I might just start playing it just because I want to play some video games.
I've literally been telling my friends at work that I want to save up enough time to take off. Like my work week is 3 days. So it's like if I save up enough time to just take those 3 days off in a row, it'll literally turn into like 11 days of not having to work. And I just want it to be just pure bliss of like catching up on all my video games. I told like my friend Jonah at work that I just come in like in a full Nirvana state and be like, I platinum 7 games and watched 20 animes and created all these D&D campaigns.
Yeah.
Just coming like floating 2 inches off the air, just gliding.
You mean off the ground?
Yeah, off the ground. What did I say? Off
the air.
We're off air, guys. Goodbye.
But yeah, so I've only done that, and then just all consuming D&D content.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I don't think I've watched one movie, and yeah. Well, no, actually that's not true. Because since we didn't do a podcast last week, we watched Luca, the Disney movie.
Oh, yeah, we did.
And that was awesome. I really enjoyed that movie.
Silencio Bruno. Hey, ¿qué pasa, estúpido?
Yeah. No, what's wrong with you, estúpido?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A great movie.
It was awesome. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was really funny, and the kids really enjoyed it.
Pixar does it again, right? Was
yeah.
Pixar? Yes.
Yeah. Disney Pixar. So, yeah, I watched that movie, and, yeah, just kind of maybe I've watched, like, a little bit of cartoons with the kids every here or there or whatever, but like nothing that sticks out like too much. I haven't really watched like anything other than like D&D stuff. I've been watching people play D&D.
Yeah. We also caught up on Loki. Like today. We caught up on Loki.
Yes.
We still haven't watched the Bad Batch, though. We like, as far as I know, we've only heard good things, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything bad about the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
There's pops of those, and I kind of want to get them, but at the same, I was saying that when I was like, when they first got introduced in season 7 of Clone Wars, I was like, man, I hope they make pops of these, and then they like didn't, and then they've made the Bad Batch animated show, and now there's pops of those guys, and I'm like,
do they have all of them out yet or no?
I want to say yes, but I think I've seen 4 of them at least.
Speaking of Funko Pops, let's tangent off real quick and talk about some bullshit. Very few Funko Pops do I actually feel like I want to collect. There is one specific collection that I wholeheartedly love, and it's the Marvel Blacklight ones. They're fucking awesome. We didn't get a Ghost Rider.
I know.
We didn't get one, and
neither one of us. Yeah.
Well, I'm severely upset.
And they're expensive now.
Yeah,
people are still trying to get them, but yeah, it's like really impossible. I will say this though. The Hulk ones are now going for like $120.
Cool. Well, it's nice to know we both got one of those. Hopefully Carnage keeps going up in price because I got one of those.
I did check. Carnage is going for like $240 now. So like
hell yeah.
It's gone up a lot since you got it, but I think the last time I told you it was going for like $220, so it's only gone up like $20 more.
Yeah, Junior and I split that one for like my birthday, and I think it was only for like $80. So it's like I spent $40, and now it's worth like it's basically a $200 profit if I sold it at this point.
Yeah, so,
which like I honestly feel like you would kill me if I did that.
I'd kill you if you didn't ask me if I'd like. I would be like, how much are you willing to take? Like, I'd be like, I will do like 150 and be like,
high as I can go.
It's like, you're going to make a profit, but you're not going to get the full value. And then also I can add it to my collection.
Do you know if your Brook kept like leveled back out yet, or did it still?
It's like at 700.
Jesus Christ.
But it got very close to $1,000, and I thought that it was gonna go. It got to like 940 or something, and I was like, "Oh man, this might hit 1,000." And then it came back down, and now it's just like stayed at like 700. So
really shameless plug for my job that if you aren't working right now, our bonus for like starting shot up. If you need a job, guys, apply at your Target DC if you got one close by. They're doing a $2,000 bonus. If you last 90 days, you get $2,000.
Wasn't it just 1,000?
It was 1,000 and it shot up to $2,000. which is insane because like I would tell people because like if I refer you and you last 90 days, I would also get 2K. So originally it was like, yo man, if I referred 10 people back when it was only 1,000, I'm like, that's 10K in your bank account after 90 days or whatever. Now, if I referred 10 people and they all stayed, 20K in my bank account after 90 days. I mean, that is fucking
it's gonna get taxed.
Stupid.
Your bonus would get taxed.
I'm pretty sure I got a signing bonus when I started, but it was only $500. It didn't get taxed.
I think that they'd get. I don't know. I'm not like 100% sure, but I feel like a bonus could get taxed.
No, well, like it was literally just, but that was the incentive to work. There was like, we'll give you $500, like as long as you stay. And like when I started, that's what I got. After 90 days, I just got $500.
Yeah, like you did and mom did.
Well, mom, yeah, I think mom, I think hers was less though. I think that like if you got referred, you were only getting half of it. And now this time they're like, no. If they stay and you referred them, they get 2K and you get 2K. So it's kind of crazy. If you're looking for a job, let me know. For Target DC, let me refer you. I could always use $2,000.
I mean, yeah. Well, that's the only way they'd get it too. Like you don't get it if
No. They get the signing bonus no matter what. Oh. I get it if it counts as a referral from me. So it's basically like me bringing him into the fold.
Gotcha. All right. I'm not okay. Yeah, I was like, wait, how the fuck did we get to this?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We were talking about money.
It makes the world go round and it corrupts the hell out of people.
Yeah. And it's also how I can
buy all these Funko Pops.
Things,
yeah.
If you guys could only see behind the camera.
I got the new Ratchet and Clank, so I've been playing that and I've actually had a lot of fun with it. I have been meaning to kind of again this is why I brought up the fact that if I could take 3 days off and just have 11 days to play video games, it's what I would do. I would just like again, literally just pure Nirvana bliss to just be
that fateful February again.
Oh man, there's I don't think we've ever talked about that. I think we've had maybe one. I feel like we mentioned it, but there was what was it? I was 20, you were 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was this.
No.
Yes.
No. It was definitely before.
I was
it was 19. Before I went to Afghanistan.
No, I was still 18.
Yeah.
I was still 18.
Yeah.
And you were 19.
Like 19, yeah.
And
that fateful February.
Yeah. There was
we're talking about 10 years ago now.
Yeah, the month of February literally just turned into like I think I had just gotten back from college. I only went for a semester and I was like, I'm broke and can't pay for this, so came back home. I don't recall exactly what your circumstance was at the time, but like obviously I came home, didn't have a job. And for an entire month of February, I
think I had just quit my job.
Oh yeah, I think that was it the security job you quit? Yeah. So you just get the security job and it was literally just we would play video game. I had so I came back from college, so I brought like a TV and my PlayStation back with me and I set it up in the living room and you were playing on the big screen TV and it was literally just we played video games.
We would wake up at noon.
Let's start day one, basically we would play video games all the way to 2 or 3 in the morning. Finally be like, all right, I gotta go to sleep. Pass out, wake up at noon, hear dad complain about the fact that we weren't doing anything for a few hours before he had to leave for work, and then just play video games all the way. We did it. We somehow miraculously got away with it for a month.
Yeah, for an entire month, that's all we did.
And then finally he was like, all right, we're going to go check out this temp agency. And then we had to start being responsible again. But yeah, it was glorious, glorious month.
All we did was play video games for an entire fucking month.
I feel like that's definitely something you can get away with at 18, 19, just for a month. That's not that bad. That's not that bad.
I think the problem was that we were not tucked away. It was in the living room and we just sat there.
And and not only did we sit there, it was we never went to our rooms to go to sleep. We just kept passing out
in the living room.
The living room.
We would wake up and immediately start playing. That's when I was playing the shit out of Skyrim.
And you got so mad at me because during that time I played both of the Dragon Age games, and I played the first one, which was your game, and I played it all the way till the like end of the game, and then I got like sick of it, and I was like, all right, this is too much like a point and click, and I immediately jumped to the second one. You were like, you didn't even beat it, and I was like, nah, I'm fine. Excuse me, but yeah, dude, beer makes me burp. But yeah, then I started the second one. Oh my god, dude, I love Dragon Age 2 so much. But yeah, then I played the shit out of that. I don't remember if I played anything else, but yeah, you were definitely balls deep into Skyrim. Was that before or after you had platinum it though?
No, that was before. Because that was my first platinum. But it was before.
But well, like, because I know like you
I
also
didn't platinum it until after I moved out of the house.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was a lot. It was a fantastic month. 10 out of 10 recommend an entire month of playing video games and caring about nothing else.
It was dope.
But yeah, so I played the new Ratchet and Clank, been playing a little bit of Biomutant. Haven't touched my Hades game in a hot minute, which I do miss, and also haven't touched my Sun and Moon or my Sun in a hot minute, which I need to beat. I can't remember. I feel like there's games just creeping up on me too that I know I'm gonna have to play soon. But yeah, same thing with you. The only other thing I've watched besides Dimension 20, which we'll hop into in a split second, the final season of Seven Deadly Sins is out. I need to finish it. I'm like 7 episodes in, and I'm loving it. I've heard bad things about the animation when it comes to some of the more epic fights towards the end, I think, of the season. But I've loved the show since its inception, since it first came out, and like even if some of the fights don't, do the best as they have in the past, I'm still enjoying every second of it so far. So
I fell off of that. I watched the first season.
It's good.
And then the second season was like filler for some reason or whatever.
Yeah, but it was only like, I think the filler was only like 3-4 episodes, which sucked that it took so long for them to be like, here's season 2. And then you were like, come on guys, this is garbage.
Yeah. So I just like fell off of it and I never went back. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'll like pick it back up. I think I'm just done with it. But it's fine. There's other animes out there.
There are.
But anyway, yeah. So you mentioned Dimension 20.
I did mention Dimension 20. Guys.
Which is technically part of Dropout TV.
Dropout TV, which is like an off-brand of College Humor?
It's not an off-brand. It's just like College Humor's like their own like... I wouldn't necessarily call it a streaming service because it's literally just their stuff. But
I mean, isn't it a streaming service though?
I mean, yes, but like Netflix is like, we have Netflix stuff. We also have other people's stuff. We have other movies, we have other TV shows, but like Dropout TV is like, this is all the stuff from like all the College Humor people and like people like us. Because I told you that on Dropout TV, they have the Drawfee guys on there.
Yes, yeah.
And they have like their own little show on there, which is like, it's pretty funny. But anyway, it's the College Humor stuff. They have all of the Actually stuff, which is from the game show that we did like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago now, whatever it was. Yeah, like 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. But they also have like a Dimension 20, which is all D&D or Dungeons and Dragon campaigns.
Yes.
So you watch people play Dungeons and Dragons, but they do it. They have the production value for like minis and to build these cool like sets and stuff. So it's really cool. And then they're like all actors, so they like really get into character. So it's really, really cool.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah, I mean, and first of all, like I think the first time I played D&D was probably back in high school. A good friend of mine that got me into it at the time. He had, because his dad was part of like a D&D group, and his dad had invited over like a friend and his wife, and they were like, hey, my son and some of his friends are interested in playing, like they kind of want to check it out. Do you want to come over and like just DM for them real quick, like whatever they got here? And it was just like, yeah, sure. And so we played for a few hours. Again, we were kids. But then later on, after high school and stuff,
I don't think you've ever told me, like, I know that that's how you played, but I don't think you ever got into detail about that. Like, I'm kind of interested to hear about, like, so it wasn't Nathan's dad that DM'd for you.
No, it was not Nathan's. It was his friend. It was his friend and his wife came over to kind of hang out with Nathan's dad. And then he DM'd for us. And yeah, we made our characters.
So like, what was your first experience? Were you immediately like, "This is fucking awesome"?
Dude, I mean,
what?
I have
Because
had.
like obviously you never brought this back up until like 2 years ago.
I was 100% the kid on the playground that played with my best friends, like in our own imaginary world. Like, yeah, some days you were playing kickback, which real quick, Jesus Christ, why were we so like enamored with the game of kickback? Did you ever do that?
Yeah. You
Remember
just
that?
kicked the ball back and forth between these two teams.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even teams. Like, it was just you took a ball and you kicked it to the other side, and it was like, what are we doing? We would waste recess kicking or like hoping, number one, that you got a ball and then you were just booting it back to the other side. So that was part of that was on the blacktop. And then if you were on the jungle gym, but I just remember just running around with my good friends like Dylan and Chris, again at the time, and we would just be like in our own like worlds. When I first made good friends with Chris, because Dylan was like knew him first, we went on a field trip to Silver Springs, right? And so you're supposed to stay with like the group.
And Silver Springs, for those of you who don't know, is a state park.
It's a state park, yeah. Here,
by us,
here, next to us, close to us. And we were in like a group of kids going around, walking around Silver Springs. All of a sudden, I noticed that there's just two kids in the back, literally like kind of like look like they're fighting off like a horde of something or whatever. And obviously all this ends up looking like is two kids just swinging their arms in the air or whatever. And then I'm like, what's going on back here? And they're like, oh, well, we're pretending we're in like Lord of the Rings and in like in Middle Earth while we're here in Silver Springs. And I was like, I like Lord of the Rings. And then so it's just like now there's three of us back there just fighting off an army of, that's what I did as a kid. So like I've always had an overactive imagination. And so D&D was so right up my alley. But yeah, it was a good experience, but we only got to play that one time. And then after,
what did you build? Do you remember what character or what kind of?
I'm pretty sure I was a barbarian. I was either a barbarian or I was a fighter, which is usually my like go-to. As I end up playing as. I just really like. I really like just having a big old great sword and just cutting people in half. So. There was that, and then we played, like, again, after high school, later on, we got together with a bunch of friends from high school, and Nathan DM'd for us, and there was 4 of us, and then Nathan played as, like, an NPC for our team, too. We played multiple times. Like, we all got together, like, I think at least, like, 4 to 6 times. We ended up not finishing the campaign, just life got in the way. But we played for a while, and that time actually I played as like a celestial warlock, or I was like a half celestial warlock. So we did that, and then after that, I just hadn't played in a while. And then I remember I don't remember what got you interested in D&D, but then when we started talking about it, I bought like a D&D like starter kit.
We started watching. There was stuff that we saw that had D&D in it, like that episode of Community, and then we started watching Harmon Quest, and Harmon Quest is all D&D. That's what it was,
yeah. Harmon
and
Quest.
And then we were like, dude, I want to play D&D, and then that's when you were like, I've played before.
Yeah, I've played before, and I was like, I could probably DM. So I did like a makeshift quick campaign for you, Megan, our younger brother, and then a couple of our friends, whoever was playing with us at the time. It was kind of like wishy-washy of who could show up. Yeah, it
was just like whoever could show up. And then at the end, it just ended up being like me and Megan that were
definitely. If you want to play D&D, besides obviously having someone that you need someone that's a DM, and usually it's going to be someone that has some experience with the game. You need players that are going to be committed to it, like, and that actually want to play. It's definitely more fun if you're like playing with your like really close friends or whatever. But it gets not boring, but it gets annoying if you have someone there that just roll the dice. Like if you ask somebody, all right, what do you do? And they're like, I don't know, what are my options? And it's like, bro, like, come on. Like, this is a fantasy world based off of like just all imagination. Tell me what you want to do, and I'll basically give you like some form of getting it done. So,
yeah. I mean, it's either that or doing one-offs. Like, it's like, all right, this is a quick like 5-hour campaign, or this is a quick 4-hour campaign. We're going to sit and we're going to play for 4 hours until we get it done. And like, that'll be the end of it. But then you don't have to like be like, all right, can we get back together to continue this or whatever? But yeah.
It is a fantastic time. Like, if you have like any type of like good imagination and you want to just dive into it, like, I definitely recommend it. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, so we we dove into Dimension 20, which again is on Dropout TV, and they just play these insane campaigns. Brendan Lee Mulligan is a motherfucking genius. I know we talked about earlier this week if we weren't 100% sure if maybe he gets help with any of the like lore and the like world building that he's done. But if he's doing it just all on his own, this is just off the top of his head, maybe just a couple, like, especially like, I mean, I could tell you like the campaign that I built, like I definitely could have used help with like naming some of the places where it was just like, oh God, like I have to come up with so many different names for a bunch of shit. So for that, maybe he gets like a little help there, but yeah, no, like it's, like I can't put it down. And the episodes for especially some of the longer seasons, like each episode is like 2 hours. And it's just like, well, yeah, like I'm trying to pour all my time into this because I need to know what happens. On top of the fact that the players that play are just amazing at what they do. Besides the fact that a lot of it ends up being hilarious, some of the people just get really into the characters too, depending on what like the campaign is. So, I mean,
yeah,
what
you
are
get like really invested in it for sure.
Yes, for sure.
One thing I wanted to mention, just kind of like so we can like encompass a little bit of other stuff is Dungeons and Dragons, the movie. Remember that?
How could I forget? What's his Wayans is in it?
Yeah, Marlon Wayans, the younger one.
Yes,
Marlon Wayans
Snails.
is in that. Yeah, and
I think it is based off of a little bit of D&D lore though, because like even the just normal ass game,
I almost like want to rewatch that one because here's the thing.
First of all, I could always rewatch it.
I found out that there's like 3 of them, but only the first one had like
big names, or they tried to like make it like a good movie.
I mean, it was like Marlon Wayans, Jeremy Irons,
the villain, right?
Yeah, and the guy who played like the main character he's
been in other stuff too.
Yeah, he was. I want to say he was Jimmy Olsen in the Lois and Clark. Remember that show?
Yeah.
With Terry Hatcher and is that Dean Cain?
That fucking Dean Cain. It was Dean Cain. Yeah. But yes.
He played Jimmy Olsen in that show. So he was the main character, and like his best friend was Marlon Wayans.
Demodar.
Yeah, like I want to rewatch that just so because I didn't know shit about Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
I just heard Dungeons and Dragons. I was like, I like dragons
and I like dungeons.
Yeah, so I was like, cool, let's watch this movie. But I had no idea that it was like based off of this game from the '70s by Gary Gygax or any of that stuff.
Yeah, it was awesome. But we have been doing a lot of that. So
we've also been playing, let's be honest.
Well, we have been playing, and like I wish we could just again had all the time in the world. There's not enough time to do all the stuff that I want to do, but I wish we had more time to play. Like,
yeah, why the fuck do we have to have jobs?
Yeah, jobs. What is other responsibilities? What the hell, man? Quick, just to go off of Dimension 20. If you're ever curious about it, I definitely like playing D&D. If you haven't played before and you want to, I would definitely recommend. Like, you could catch the entire first season of Dimension 20 on YouTube. You can watch all of it.
Fantasy High.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you want to get the Dropout TV thing, it's only $5 a month. Well, I mean, depending on how many streaming services you are, I know it can get pretty pricey, but yeah, it's Fantasy High, and the entire premise of their D&D campaign for that one is they literally play a bunch of teenagers, different races, different classes. And they're going to like adventuring high school, and it is phenomenal.
Yeah, and it's really funny.
My favorite character is Gorgug, like an emo orc who's like shy, and it's
a barbarian.
Yeah, who's a barbarian. It's fantastic.
Yeah, but yeah, like Tito said, it's basically like playing a video. Honestly, it's like the best video game you'll ever play because video games all have limitations. So just think about even the most open world, you can do whatever, like Skyrim or like the Fable games where you're like, I can choose to play good, I can choose to play evil, I can walk around and assassinate people, and I can steal their stuff out of their house and sell it and whatever. All that, but there is like almost zero limitations in D&D. It's like as big as your imagination and as far as your DM or dungeon master will let you get away with. Like, There, like we were just talking about, like you can't say like like I love Skyrim. It's one of my favorite games and my first platinum, and I love that game. But like as much as I loved sneaking around and shooting everybody with with a bow and stealing and all that other stuff, like you can't like jump off of the roof of a building and come down with a mighty strike and end this enemy in like one hit and like all this crazy shit. Like in Dungeons and Dragons, when you're playing, you can just be like, all right, I'm gonna fucking I want to do this, this, and this, and this. And then your DM's like, all right, roll your dice. And if you roll high enough, then I'll let you do that.
Yeah, it just ends up being a lot of like, you get your RNG from just like your number rolls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'll definitely say one of the biggest things.
You just need dice and an imagination. That's
Yeah, one of the biggest things, and it seems like small like a simple thing to do in D&D would just be like, I want to try to kick this door down. But it literally, like, I can't tell you how many different times you're playing as like a supremely powerful character and somehow like a wooden door is like stopping you. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Or even stuff that it's just like, you're a character with a sword and they're like, it seems like the door is barred from this side. Like, I have a fucking magic sword. I can break this shit and get through here. So like,
yeah, right, exactly, just like that. And like that was one of the things about Fable is like locked doors. You could try to pick them, but you could also just bust them down with your sword. Like, and I was like, like everybody else should be taking a freaking pointer here from Fable. Like, yes. If I have a weapon, I should be able to break this fucking door down. Like, this door shouldn't just be like, it's impossible if you can't pick the locker.
What is with these OP doors in video
like,
games, guys?
Me? Yeah. It's like, I'm a level 50, I'm level 50. I have all these crazy spells, and I can't break down this fucking wooden door to get into the shop to steal some weapons or whatever. Like, that's bullshit.
Horse shit, man. I tell you.
D&D is the best video game you'll never play.
Yeah, pretty much. But Dimension 20 completely broadened my my horizon on like all of that. They have that one, the second season, hilarious enough as it is. Escape the Bloodkeep, which is like a spin-off of like what would happen like right after, what would all the like
it's like basically Lord of the Rings without it being Lord of the Rings, but from the bad side and from right after like Frodo destroys the ring.
Yeah.
Like all of like Sauron's like high lieutenants would be like, what the fuck do we do now?
What do we do now that he's dead?
Yeah.
Awesome. Season 3 is what I'm currently watching right now. That one's The Unsleeping City, and that's one basically where there's like a bunch of magic in New York. That one, like, I'm starting to get a little bit into it, has definitely gotten really cool. Season 4 was like one that really like struck gold for me and Junior, Tiny Heist, which the first episode, if you want any of them to suck you in, like I know I said the first season is all on YouTube, but watch the first episode of Tiny Heist. Holy shit, is it hilarious.
Yeah, it's basically like, it's a heist one. It's basically like any of the Ocean's movies or the Italian Job movie, like
except D&D style,
except D&D,
and it's awesome.
And it's really, really funny. It's super funny.
They have like
Dick
Toy
Riggins.
Story elements and Rick Diggins. Oh man,
Man About the City.
And then season 5, A Crown of Candy, which is basically Game of Thrones set in a world where everyone's like food people, and like all of the players play people from the Kingdom of Candia, so they're all like candy people, and it's really my favorite one. It's my favorite one.
I'm almost done with that one now.
Then I think like season 6, I think was the Pirates of Leviathan, and then I think the newest, well, not the newest anymore, second to newest season was Mice and Murder, which is basically a Sherlock Holmes whodunit. That one was awesome.
Yeah,
I had so much fun watching all of that. And they did that over like a Zoom call because I think it was during COVID, but it still was done like perfectly.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And like I liked how they would, like, while the characters explain what they do, like Junior said earlier, like they have a high production value. So like whenever they did battles, you would see all their mini characters and all the sets would be fucking amazing. So they were doing this over Zoom calls, and I'm pretty sure it was like after the fact they would set up the sets with all the minis, and you would see people like, some of them like interact in certain situations. So it was definitely really cool. And now the newest season literally started today. A little sad that they said it was only going to be a 4 episode season, but they're doing like a knockoff Harry Potter, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And Brennan Lee Mulligan, who's usually the dungeon master, is actually playing in this one. So it's going to be really, really cool because he usually doesn't play. He's usually the one running the damn game.
Yeah.
So it's going to be cool to see because I haven't seen him play before. So I'm excited for that.
But all of that literally has just fed into my soul. Everything that I love about D&D and all this stuff. I've actually now like world crafted my own world. Created a few new classes, took out some other ones from like regular D&D, and created this realm. And I have 2 separate campaigns going as the DM. One with you, Megan, and your guys' friend Drew, and then one with a bunch of my coworker friends. And it is fantastic to see some of the similarities and different things that you guys do while you play. But I'm having a blast. As much fun as I would have also playing, I also love being the DM. It's definitely a lot of fun. So
yeah, because it's like the DM is definitely the hardest job, but at the same time, like it's like you don't get to play, like make the decisions, but you also get to play like 80 characters, like depending on how big your world is. You're like, I'm the bartender at this bar, I'm the innkeeper here, I'm the blacksmith, I'm an NPC that you're gonna have to like fight. I'm that, like you get to play a bunch of different characters, and I just get to play my one character, but I'm actually the one playing.
yeah.
So
So it is, yeah.
I don't know. I thought about like maybe I'll make my own and maybe I'll be a DM so that you can play. Because I've thought about some stuff where I'm like, oh, this might be kind of cool. But
Well, so like my best friend Troy wants to play, and he like talked to me about it. Like him and his girlfriend are really interested, but like, and then I'll like mention like, yeah, I can DM for you guys. He's like, yeah, but then you don't get to play with me. And it's like, dude, like I get it, but also like unless you have a DM like on hand,
yeah.
like I'm fine playing the DM if I need to be just to get everyone involved.
Yeah. Right now we're really still trying to like build. We want to have like a group that just becomes our group, and then it's like if we decide to never play as these characters again, that's fine. We could do another campaign as make new characters, but it's like at least we have our group, our group that we're like, because it's fun playing no matter what, but it's more fun with more people. Not like a huge group, but it's more fun playing with a bigger group because then you're all like, everybody comes in playing differently. Some people want to play it this way. Some people want to play like lawful good. Some people want to be chaotic good or chaotic evil, or some people some people want to go into the bar and like fuck around for a little while. Some people want to do this. Some people just want to stick to the story. But it's also then you have to like vote on like, all right, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna go into this dungeon, or are we gonna go explore somewhere else first and then come back or whatever? So.
But yeah, it's definitely been a lot of fun. But that is like really a lot of what I've been up to. It's just trying to, number one, watching all that stuff, getting more information, doing more. Like, there's like 17 countries in the world I built. And I have to craft like a story for each one that you guys like visit, basically, on top of any side questing that you guys may or may not want to do. So I have been doing a lot of work with it. I've been kind of happy with some of the like boards that we made for it, on top of like the minis that I've kind of made for it. It's nothing that's high production. It's just popsicle sticks, cardboard, and some paper glued together. But I mean,
that's
it's
all
cool.
we can do right now. But it's still better than nothing.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. It's really awesome. So, but yeah, that is what we've been up to. Been super busy, and like I said, almost feels like there's never enough time for everything. But I have been enjoying myself.
Yeah, I would encourage that if you're super nerdy and you like all kinds of nerdy stuff, that like check out D&D. Check out if there's like anywhere, or hit us up if you live by us and you're like, hey, I think I might like to play some D&D sometime, or whatever.
Or even if you have questions, just let us know.
Yeah, like we were saying, definitely check it out. Like it's really awesome. I didn't know anything about it until I kind of it just kind of fell into my lap that one time, and then I was like, this seems like fun. And it's like, you don't have to get crazy, you don't have to like dress up and like you don't have to cosplay or anything like
but
that.
If you do, that's awesome too.
That's cool. Like if you want to take it a step further, like that's awesome. If you want to like really really get into your character or whatever, hell yeah, more power to you. I think it'd be cool if we did that maybe one time. I'm not saying every time we played, but like if we did that every one time or something like that or whatever, and like we played for a long time, that'd be really cool. We've been playing around with the idea of maybe Twitch streaming it, and maybe we could do a Twitch stream of D&D every once in a while. I don't know if it'll be like a weekly thing or a monthly thing or whatever. But
again, yeah, it's just like at this point, like I said, we're old, so like people have lives, so it just kind of turns into whether or not we all have the time
and we're
to kind of
new
get
at
it
this
going.
too.
Yeah,
I have never.
I'm
Twitch streamed
terrified.
before or anything like that.
One of my coworkers, my buddy Shannon, his partner, like he told me that they have played in like a bunch of different campaigns and they have a bunch of characters like already set up, and I was kind of terrified that he was going to bring them over to like when we played, because I was like, I don't need to get judged by like some veteran player that knows all this stuff. Like this is kind of like I'm still more or less like a baby DM.
Well,
like,
it doesn't matter.
We went through a campaign. Like we did end up finishing
making
that
it up.
one campaign, but yeah, I'm making it up. Well, for that other campaign, I made it up as I go. Like this time, I have a little more stuff laid out.
Yeah, but I'm saying like this is homebrew, so like like
hell yeah.
In a way, where like you are following like 5e 5th edition stuff, but at the same time, like you also created classes and made up spells and stuff like that, so people can't be like, oh, that spell doesn't exist.
Yeah,
and it's like,
I took from a bunch
because
of
I made it.
I took from a bunch of stuff all over the place.
Like it's imagination. Like there are like some rules that you kind of have to follow in D&D. Like if you die, you die. Mm-hmm. Like it's like you can't just be like, I revive. Like there is spells like revivify, but like there has to be within a certain time period and all this stuff. Yeah. And if none of your party members
carry around
know
this rotting corpse till you level up, and you're like, okay, now I want to revive them.
Yeah, like if none of your players know revivify, then it doesn't. Like if you die, you die. That's it. Your character's dead.
There's also Phoenix Downs in my version of the game though too. If anyone needs to.
Well, anyway, like, but what I'm saying is like, that's it. There are consequences. There are certain rules you have to follow. You can't just be like, all right, I just jump and I start flying. It's like, why? Do you have wings? Because you never established you had wings. You can't just say I fly. Like, the DM is the one who sets the rules and stuff. So at the same time,
limitations.
Nobody would be able to be like, "Oh, that's not a thing." It's like, yes,
but
it
there's
is.
Usually
I'm the
always
DM and I made it.
There's usually always possibilities though too. So
honestly, like we said, it's all about imagination. The sky's the limit. If you want to try it, go for it. Hey, if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's fine. Yeah. I wanted to try it, and I just ended up liking it. And I
definitely feel like there's also different ways, like something like that. Like the Sherlock Holmes D&D campaign that they did on D20. I definitely feel like that would be something though. Someone that maybe isn't super fantasy based could definitely get behind. I've definitely thought of like doing like a version where it's like, regardless of whether or not you want to make it fantasy based or like human world based, you could do like almost like your own cop movie as a D&D thing. You could have like two people play as partners. Somebody's playing as a private eye. Someone's playing as like a vigilante or other stuff, and I've thought about it. I know I want to finish this campaign more than anything now that it's started, but I already have like other ones that I've got, just brewing in my brain. So
yeah. All right. Well, I think we can pretty much wrap it up here, unless you have like any other things that you want to talk about.
Not so much really.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons, guys. Like, get into it, talk about it, reach out to us.
Like I said, if you like video games and you like open world, like if you're only like into sports games, then probably not. But like if you're into like open world games, any sort of open world game that you've played, whether it's Skyrim, the Red Dead Redemption series, or any other game that you're like, this is open world. There's tons of open world games now. If you're like, I like to make decisions or whatever, it's like, there is no limitation set by like the designers like there is in a video game. The designer is literally a human being that you're sitting next to for the most part at a table, unless like there are like ways to play online, but like the sky's the limit. So if you want to try something out, go for it. If you want, you can find places to be like, oh, is there any D&D that goes on near me or around me or whatever?
There's also some like starting books too, where you can teach you how to be a DM, and then they even have like stories just mapped out for you. So like, don't ever be afraid to like either
there's
or
starter
just
sets. I'm
homebrew
pretty
stuff
sure
too.
At GameStop,
I guarantee there's probably people that have like fan fiction of random stuff. Turn it into a campaign, man. Have some fun with it.
Yeah. I know that they sell the starter set at GameStop. I know Target too. Target sells it too. So it's like if you want to buy it and maybe you're like, I'm just gonna play with my brother or my friend, like, and we're just gonna play just us for now, just to see if we like it. It's not that expensive. It's like $20 or $25.
Yeah, do it. Go for it.
Like, it's fun. And honestly, if you don't and you just like, the only thing you need is a set of dice and like a notebook to keep track of stuff, because you want to take notes for like any information that you get or anything like that. That's really the only thing that you need is dice. Dice not that expensive. It's like $7 for a set of dice. Like,
yeah, I have like 5 extra sets.
Yeah, I have like 3 sets of dice. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's like a cool way to just kind of spend like some fun with your friends. You're basically you're basically on a LAN party. You're basically just playing with your friends together in your collective imagination. Eat and drink and just have fun
and be merry.
Yeah, exactly. Eat, drink, and be merry.
Yeah. So
all right, guys. But yeah, just with that in mind, Tito, where can they find you?
If you guys ever want to reach out to me, talk to me, or anything, you can always find me on Twitter and Instagram at BanditoTito93. You could DM me about anything, stuff that you liked about the show, stuff that you dislike, stuff that you want to hear, any questions. I love to talk about anything nerdy. I love making new friends. What about you, Junior? Where can they find you?
You guys can send me a DM on Instagram at nerdy.bros.inc, as well as pops.maniac on Instagram. Also, guys, make sure if you guys are interested in helping to support the show, there is merch. There'll be a link below if you're watching this on YouTube, or you can also find the link in the description if you're just listening to us on Apple or Spotify or whatever. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, and tank tops. So if you'd like to help support the show, we'd really, really appreciate it. Get yourself some merch. But have a great week, guys.
Hey, yo, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, boy.